Welcome to what is arguably the most important video on my YouTube channel. Now, some of you may disagree because you may just think I'm yapping, but I think this is probably one of the most important videos I will ever make, and I'm going to make this video one time every single month. This is a monthly reflection. I'm going to reflect on my mistakes, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes, as well as reflect on what I did well so I can continue to do that and take advantage of my strengths. Now, before I get started, it's going to be a quick video. I'm not going to waste much of your time. But before I get started, I do want to say we are doing an absolutely massive giveaway inside the Discord. We are giving away a full trading setup. This includes a ergonomic chair, brand new monitor. It's one of those big ones where you can see everything, and a very brand new PC, which is actually better than my PC I have right now. So kudos to you if you win. And all you have to do is get an Alpha Futures account, any size, any account type, using my code. You can have as many entries as you want, and you have 2 weeks to enter. All you have to do is use my code, collect the discount. I think it's like 10% off, or whatever the best discount's going on. It'll be that discount on their account. And if you show me proof of purchase from now until 2 weeks from now, so Monday, June 16th, after trading on live stream, we will announce the winners. That is when we will announce the winners. You have until that exact moment to enter the giveaway using my code. So far, there are 0 entries, but obviously that number will increase. The winner will be chosen at random in front of you guys, so no scammy, iffy business going on. I hope you win, whoever you are, and let's get started with the video. So, let's start on arguably the most important thing I need to improve on going into June. Now, I actually did record this video, but I deleted the entire recording because I thought I could do a better job. And I want to make this video, in terms of this part of the video, about recency bias. Recency bias is a word that does not exist. However, it exists in our hearts because recency bias talks about how you are most influenced by what most recently happened to you. For example, if you won your last 5 trades, you probably are going to expect the next one to be a winner. You're going to be leaning towards more confident, especially if it's the same methodology and you weren't just getting lucky. On the contrary, if you were losing primarily these last couple of weeks, you may have developed a recency bias to your model or methodology. Not that it maybe doesn't work, but maybe you're a little bit more hesitant, lack a little bit of confidence. Maybe you try changing things, and that's what I'm going to talk about because this is what has happened to me in May. For those of you who've been following our trading journey, we've been doing this for a really long time. We had a really good month, and February, March, and April were really good months, just as expected. For me, very typical, winning months with average results compared to my back test. So great. We managed to do really good in those 3 months. We managed to get paid. We managed to also this month close 20%, which is my largest percentage gain in this amount of time period on my live account. So that is something we'll talk about later in this video in terms of what I did good. But the trading month of May was not so good for us. We don't have to get into the details. There's no need for details, but I know month of May, I did not perform that well, and I want to do better going into June. So this is what this video was for. Where can I improve? And I think this pretty much sums it up. I had recency bias for a lot of the month because I didn't start so hot in the month. When you go on losing streaks, and it wasn't necessarily a losing streak through the entire month. I mean, we caught multiple amazing trades, but we also got stopped out. We also had a lot of no trade days, a lot of consolidation, which is fine. There is nothing wrong with no trade days. In fact, we didn't even lose that much this month, but we didn't really get anywhere, and we went through some evals. And let's talk about how we can improve. Now, let me give you guys an example about recency bias. This is from Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas. I don't remember what chapter, but just bear with me and listen to the yap. In the book, Mark Douglas talks about a kid who hypothetically approaches his first dog ever. And this dog just so happened to be aggressive. Didn't attack him or anything, but it was barking. It was, jumping on him. It looked angry. And the kid is now afraid of dogs. So the next dog that approached him, regardless of the dog itself, maybe this dog was well trained, very polite, very kind, not dangerous whatsoever, very well behaved. And that very well behaved dog approaches the kid, Yet the kid is still scared. He still is hesitant to push forward towards the dog. He stays defensive. He stays laid back because of his previous experience. Even though these two dogs are completely unrelated, the outcome is practically impossible to know because you don't know the dog. This is basically trading in a nutshell when it comes to recency bias. Your last trade has nothing to do with this trade. Yes, it's the same model, but no market is the exact same as it was. Sometimes they're very similar, but anything can happen. Then that's the key takeaway here. The market can do anything at any given time. There is no guaranteed outcome. You're playing a game where there is no guarantee of what's to come. But what you are playing with is your edge, and that is your model. And you need to know that, and that's all you can focus on because you know long term, your profitable edge will bring in the results and nothing more will bring in the result. So you should not let your previous trades affect the one you're taking now. This is something I fell victim to. Today was a great example. Today we took a winning trade. If you were on the live stream, we caught a nice trade. But I made a grave mistake in that trade. And that mistake was I didn't scale into the position. Now, if you guys watched my most recent video and you've been staying tuned on how I like to trade, you guys know when a protraction model forms and I'm in the trade, as long as my drawn liquidity is still there, which was higher today, I put my stop at the protraction low and I scale. I add positions. I didn't do that. And that's fine. We still caught a winning trade. I know some of you are like, man, this guy trying to reflect on his winner. We took losers. We can reflect on those too. But this is an important one because I want to tell you why it's important. The only reason I didn't scale into that position was I was afraid of losing the trade. I didn't want to scale in and give away profits because what would have happened previous. The month had a lot of consolidation. The month had a lot of losses. The month had a lot of difficult price action. And I thought that maybe it's going to be the same as it was before. So I didn't want to scale into the position just in case. Not realizing that this trade has absolutely nothing to do with the previous trade. And in fact, it was giving me information that I should be scaling. We had just inverse first presentation fair value gap. We just got the bullish order block. The risk management was impeccable. We reduced our risk. We basically cut off all risk from the trade. It was a perfect opportunity to scale. And the only thing that prevented me was the fact that I was scared to lose because of what happened previous. And that is not okay. That is not how I want to go forward in my trading. So I'm going to make sure we are going to try our best to eliminate recency bias. Every single trade, we're going to say focus on that trade and the information that the market is giving us. And we're going to make decisions based on the logic in our methodology, not based on what happened in the previous trade, because every single trade has no guaranteed outcome. You never know what's going to happen. Every trade is its own trade. You cannot let the previous winner or loser influence the trade you're taking now. And that's the main takeaway that I want to focus on going forward. Another thing I want to focus on, which is really small, is rushing. We have not passed an eval all month. And that's just the truth of it. We have not passed one. Main reason was I keep rushing. In my history of trading, I've never passed an eval rushing. I've almost always, every single eval I've ever passed was within let's say 2 weeks period of time. But as I start making more money from the markets, as I start getting more confidence in my model, for some reason, and this is experimental because I didn't know what was going to happen. But I told myself going in the beginning of the month that I'm going to start trying to pass in a couple days, right? Going to go with it, risk a couple days, try to pass in a max 1 week. I don't want to hold account for more than 1 week. And this was an absolute misery fest. I was not able to pass a single account in the entire month, which is usually quite rare for me. Usually we're passing an account at least once a month, sometimes at least once every 2 weeks. And it's simply because I was rushing, right? So it was an experiment. I just don't think I'm that aggressive of a trader. I don't think it's just not a part of me. I try to rush, my mental gets fuzzy, I start not trading so good, taking trades I really wouldn't be taking. It's just kind of a mess fest. So I think it's just how I'm going to have to go forward, at least for now. We can always experiment in the future. I don't think rushing evals is something I'm part of. Now, we're talking about evals here. On the funded, I'm actually really happy with how I approach my funded. Funded is great. I have no complaints about my funded. We had some human error early in the month. We risked minis instead of micros. It happens. It's going to happen again. I can't get too mad. I was quite upset, but it's fine. It's going to happen again. There's nothing you can do when you accidentally trade the mini. The Project X platform, it automatically switches. In fact, it won't happen again because we simply blocked mini trading, period, on the account. So it simply can't happen again. We don't have to worry about that again. But the rushing evals thing, we're definitely going to work on that. It's not really a bad thing. It's just not me. I don't think And right now, where I'm at, I want to be rushing evals. 2 weeks is a good time period for me to pass. So we'll try to pass in 2 weeks. I don't want to take more than 2 weeks. I think that's a little bit extreme, but I think 2 weeks is a great window. So we're going to set that goal for us. So maybe the first week, we risk 0.5%. If we don't get much progress in that first week, then we can up it to 1%. And that's usually what I do. So we're just going to go with that. This also gives us the opportunity to take advantage of our scaling. If I risk 1% right off the get-go, I can't really implement a huge edge in my model, which is scaling into positions, right? So you guys can give your information based on that, but I think I know best about myself, so that's what we're going to do going forward into June. So those are two main things we're going to focus on, not rushing the evals, and then recency bias. So those are the two main things. Let's talk about what we did good. I am really happy with how I was able to refine my model this month. I'm really content with my trade management corrections, my risk management corrections. My ability to achieve bias was on point this month. We were pretty much flawless almost every single day, I believe. Our weekly outlook every single week, objectives were met. Daily outlooks were pretty much on point. We predicted the choppiness, we predicted the expansions. That was great. And it's usually great for me, if I'm being honest. I'm not trying to brag. We're pretty on point when it comes to predicting where the market's going to go. And we did pretty good, So going forward, we just kind of have to do the same thing. I'm happy how I did on my live account. We managed to get 20%. Like I said, I was really good with managing my stock positions, dollar cost averaging, taking out profits where I wanted to. We got 20% on the live account, which is really nice in our swing positions. So that's something I definitely want to keep looking forward to. I'm going to apply the exact same plan. I'm already in my stock positions for the next couple months. I'm going to dollar cost average if I can and go for the same type of 10% gain is usually what I go for. So if we can get 10%, I'm more than happy with 10%. Anything more would be nice. Keep planning the daily outlooks, keep planning the weekly outlooks. I'm really happy with all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much it. So this was just a quick video, me reflecting on my month, how I did, and we're going to go into June. We're going to come with a fresh slate. We know what to focus on. We know what to not focus on. We know what we need to do to have a better June than May. And we can still finish the quarter strong. There's 3 months left in the quarter. There's 7 months left in the year. It is not too late. I'm acting like I blew all my accounts. We've been doing really good. We just got to keep going forward. We had a bad month in May. We can still have a really good quarter. I'm not tripping. I'm not stressing whatsoever because I've had many bad months in the past and I've always managed to rebound. And that's what consistency really means. That's what profitability long-term really means. Can you survive the downhill or the bad parts and come out of it on the good side and make your money back and more? So going forward, we know exactly what to do. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Like I said, we are doing a really large giveaway in the Discord. Everything in this picture right now, you can get it potentially. I mean, only one person can get it, but someone's going to get it, right? So if you plan on trading Alpha Futures, you're getting an account anyway. Or if you haven't used Alpha Futures, I mean, honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't be using Alpha Futures. They have the easiest payout rules. Literally everyone I know has been getting a payout. Not everyone I know, that's an extreme, but a lot of people who are struggling to get payouts with other firms are finding it a lot easier on Top Step. And I can name, many people who have made that switch and found that to be easier. Same for myself. I think it's a lot easier on Alpha Futures, and that's what I recommend. So if you want to make your chance to get an account now, that will be a great time because you can enter the giveaway. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'll see you guys live on Monday. Peace. Yes, sir.